let's move on for the podcast audio production basics. Now that you have your story thought out and your script written, you are ready to start recording and editing your narrative podcast. This starts with making sure that the audio you lay down is of good quality. Here are some audio production basics that can help to give your podcast a smooth, professional sound. First, know your recording space. For in-studio audio, you want to seek out a large room with plenty of space around you. Small recording spaces with hard, flat surfaces will allow sound to bounce around and reverberate in your recordings. If you don't have access to a professional studio with sound deafening walls, position yourself in the middle of a large room, as far from the walls as possible. You should also listen to the ambient sounds of your room through your headphones prior to laying down audio. For scenes that take place outside of a sterile studio, don't be afraid to record in actual spaces. In these cases, the ambient background noises can be desirable. For example, if a scene is set in a coffee shop, you could take a field recorder and record lines in an actual coffee shop. The background sounds you get will help to fill out the setting for your listener.
Second is check your input levels. Most audio editing programs will have some sort of audio level scale that usually consists of a bar that goes from green to yellow to red. You want to avoid recording in the red. It's much easier to increase the volume of a file than decrease it. So the key is to get your level as close to the red as you can without actually going into it. This will give you a good volume level without distorting the sound. A quick rule of thumb is to try to record your audio with a peak input of around -10 dB.
So the third one is to use proper microphone techniques. So everyone has heard audio with annoying P-pops and S sounds. These issues are caused by excessive bursts of air hitting the microphone and probably mean you are too close to the mic. The best way to minimize these unwanted sounds is to move off access from your microphone. Setting your mic up slightly to the side, angled towards your mouth, will prevent air from hitting the microphone directly and will result in a more natural tone. Most people's urge is to speak straight into a microphone. Resist that urge.
So how to use crossfade? A crossfade is any time you cut a file or join two files together, make sure you insert a crossfade between the adjacent clips. This helps to normalize your volumes and cover up any distracting clicks or pops. And the dialogue between characters will sound more natural.
The next one is tweak using equalizers. Equalizers is an extremely useful tool when editing audio and can give you the ability to boost or cut frequencies, making your overall sound quality better. If your audio sounds too booming, there is probably too much bass. If it sounds muddy, you have too much low mid-range volume. A harsh sound likely means there is too much upper mid-range. Adjust your equalizer to level out your clips and create a smoother overall sound.
So the sixth is the remove background noises. If you don't have a professional sound studio, there will be some unwanted background noises in your recordings. The good news is that it's okay. Those noises can usually be removed. Most editing software has background noises, removal capabilities that allow you to highlight and remove background sounds automatically. You don't need to be an expert sound engineer to do this, as most software will have a preset noise reduction settings you can use. So our last audio production basics is the compress and normalize. Most audio editing software will also allow you to compress and normalize your audio files. Compression filters are the easiest way to make your audio sound professional post-recording. They are basically automatic volume controllers that help you to reduce your audio's peak levels. This has the effect of smoothing out your vocals and creating a more natural sound. Once you have compressed your audio, you can also apply a normalization filter. This boosts the volume of your audio set so that it uses the full volume range of available speakers. Both compression and normalization are like preset filters available in most audio editing software.
So how is it important? Audio production basics are important to making successful podcasts. Taking the time to make sure you record your audio in the best setting possible and applying some simple editing presets can have a huge effect on the sound quality of your audio files. Don't be afraid to play around with your audio editing settings to find the perfect sound balance for what you envisions your podcast to sound like. So that's it. That's how audio production and its basics works. Thank you for listening.